Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. Hello, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another mega taste test. Today I'm going to be tasting lots of flavors of gelato. My dear friend John at El Laboratorio Gelato sent me a huge box. He wanted to send this to me as a gift for 1 million subscribers. If you've missed that video, I shall put the link down below. So this just arrived a couple hours ago. I'm going to be doing it as a mystery unboxing because I really don't know what John included in here except that it's frozen because the box is cold. And yes, I can't wait to get my mitts on what's inside this box. And just to clarify, this is not a sponsored video. This is just me tasting a bunch of ice cream. All right, let's go ahead and open this box. All right, I'm gonna put this down here. It's a pretty tall box. And then lift it out. Caution, contents include dry ice. Do not touch. Extremely cold. May cause severe burns and skin contact. Liberates heavy gas. Ooh. Handle with gloves and dispose in sink. Awesome. Ugh. Okay, here's the box. Okay. I wonder if it's going to gas out. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, that's some interesting ice cream. It's actually a shirt. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh gosh. Look what's inside there. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Now we're gonna do the flavors. Okay, if you can't tell already, I'm so excited about this. I love ice cream. Frozen desserts are my favorite, more so than candy, more so than cakes, more so than anything. Frozen ice cream in particular, my favorite. My Achilles heel, really. All right, when it comes to like sweets and stuff, yeah. Okay, all right, here we go. Lemon ginger sorbet. Tangerine sorbet. Oh my goodness. Green grape sorbet. Blood orange sorbet. Pineapple sorbet. Oh my gosh, it's like summer. Lemon basil sorbet. Braeburn apple sorbet. Passion fruit sorbet. Now I think we're getting to the ice creams. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, getting too excited here. Now we have brown sugar. Cream cheese. Oh, I'm curious about that. Shiso. Sage. What is lucuma? Oh, I have no idea what lucuma is. Cherry. Nutmeg. Cardamom. We have a whole spice section now. Cherimoya. Brown butter. Oh, I got some spoons here. Tarragon. Pink peppercorn. Poppy. Caramel, chocolate Kahlua, Peppermint Stick, yes, my favorite, milk chocolate malt, oatmeal, Lulo. What is Lulo? I have no idea. Super. Look that up too. Toasted marshmallow. Oh my gosh, I'm not at the bottom yet. Guinness, dark chocolate bourbon pecan. Oh my. Cucumber and prune armagnac. Oh my goodness. So how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 flavors of ice cream. Perfect. Baskin Robbins 31 flavors, I believe it was called, was like my favorite shop. Although I always got rainbow sherbet and mint chocolate chip. But yeah. Awesome. Let's get started. I have some spoons here. It actually says made in Italy on there. If you've missed my first gelato tasting, I shall put the link there, and you can see me bliss out on a bunch of gelatos. From my understanding, the difference between gelato and ice cream is that gelato, of course, is Italian and it doesn't contain any eggs. Many ice creams that we have here in the US contain eggs, and they make kind of a custard base. So the flavors can get a little bit buried. But if you say gelato to any Italian, it means ice cream. So that's my understanding of gelato. The flavors are a little bit brighter, and it's served also at a little bit softer consistency than we think of like hard ice cream here in the US. So here's some of the dry ice that was in the container. This stuff is wicked cold. It looks just like ice, but it's not. Let's pretend we're like mad scientists and add some water. That's so cool. Potion motion. Look, 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 look. Woo! I'm gonna grab one at random, and I got lemon ginger sorbet. All right, let's taste that. I'm gonna use my little paddle here. It has a pale yellow color to it. And let's give that a taste. And to clarify, sorbet, from my understanding, contains no dairy, so you get really clean, bright flavors. All right, lemon ginger sorbet. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Oh man, is that good. I love lemon sorbet. Of all sorbets, lemon is my favorite. Really bright and sunny and nice and citrusy. Very, very, very zingy and relatively light in terms of sweetness. It doesn't try to cover up all the lemony flavors. Really, really bright. And then it finishes with a nice ginger finish. I feel naturally ginger has a kind of slight lemony flavor, so I think it's a really great pairing of the lemon and ginger together. The ginger itself can be quite strong and spicy, but this is a perfect balance. The lemon comes first, the ginger comes in second, and way in the back and at the end. And this has a really nice texture too. The ice crystals are really small. It's not icy or granular. Bring! Pineapple sorbet. Another sorbet. Ooh, this one is a little bit darker in color than the lemon. This one's a little bit stickier in consistency. All right, here we go. Ooh, that one is much sweeter and has a much smoother consistency. And I bet that has something to do with the amount of sugar in the pineapple. And very clear, fresh pineapple flavor. I don't taste any metallic tinness to this at all. But what I really like about this one is that it has a really fine texture to it. Really, really smooth. The ice crystals are even tinier than the lemon ginger one. Really nice texture. Slightly sticky even as well in terms of the texture. I think this would make an amazing pina colada. Next, I'm going to taste this one. And this is passion fruit sorbet. I had my first passion fruit not that long ago, just a few months ago. Wow, look at that beautiful color. It almost looks like saffron in color. Beautiful yellow turmeric color. This one's very hard as well, but let's see if I can get into here. I'm letting these warm up on my counter a little bit. The dry ice makes for a very cold, cold ice cream. All right. Oh my goodness. It just explodes with passion fruit flavor. And this is really tangy and bright, just as I remembered in my Fruity Fruits video. Just so alive. It's like tropical fruit meets peach and kiwi and a little bit of strawberry. It's very acidic and tart, but very bright and lovely. All right, let's try this one next. And this one is caramel. All right, or caramel, depending on how you pronounce it. Oh, look at that. That looks like it has swirls of caramel in it. All right, let's taste a little bit of that. Oh my. Oh my, 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 my. That is luscious. You know, the first thing I taste in that is butter. That is caramel made with a lot of butter, and that's great in my book. So I taste that really lovely taste when you get butter to caramelize. It's nutty and sweet and just dairied. It's scrumptious. What I also like about this flavor is that you've got kind of two consistencies going on. You've got the frozen ice cream, and then you've got this caramel that remains soft and caramel-like, even though this is still very, very frozen. Next, I have this one, and this is cucumber. Interesting. I am not a huge cucumber fan. Let's see how this goes. Oh, so yes, it looks like this is probably a gelato. This is definitely a gelato. It has a creamier texture. Wow. That is definitely cucumber. And I don't care for it. I'm not a huge cucumber fan, so it's not surprising that I wouldn't like this. It tastes hugely of cucumber, that green, succulent vegetal flavor that I associate with cucumber and that I don't like, with some sweetness, a kiss of dairy. The dairy definitely isn't strong in that. It's all about the cucumber. And there's a little bit of sweetness, so it tastes like a sweet summertime cucumber. Don't like it. So the next flavor we have at random is this one. And this is prune Armagnac. So prune, of course, are dried plums, and Armagnac is French brandy. Unfortunately, my first associations with prune involved toddlers and passing, BMs. But not to set this up in any kind of negative way, but that's what happens when you become a mother, I guess. So there it is. All right, here we go. I definitely taste the brandy in there, but it doesn't taste boozy. There's a nice balance of the booze and the sweetness, and there are little bits of prune in there, which are sweet. It kind of reminds me of dates. This actually reminds me of a flavor you can find a lot in Japan called Rum Raisin. So it's this boozy flavor with dried fruit, kind of a classic combination. Although some versions of Rum Raisin I've had taste pretty artificial. They taste kind of like extracts. This doesn't. You get the nice little taste of booze in there without it being heavy or bitter. It's kind of more scented. So next from the pile is this one. And this is cream cheese. Interesting. It does taste like cream cheese. And it does taste like cheesecake. But it's not as sweet as cheesecake and not nearly as heavy. What I really like about this one is the delicious texture of that. It is super finely smooth and very distinctive cream cheese flavor. Just ever so tiniest little amount of tanginess and just tastes exactly of cream cheese and very light on the sweetness. Nice. I just want to add some fresh fruit on top of this. All right, next flavor is cherry. Beautiful color there. Let's taste that. Okay, that's more like gelato texture. Here we go. This one I feel is more dairy. You can see a huge difference between this and the sorbets, where it's all about the fruit. And with this, it's more of a balance between the dairy and the cherry. Yeah. Next, let's try cardamom. It has a nice pale cream color to it. Let's taste that. All right, now they're softening up to the right consistency. Here we go. Wow. That is very intensely flavored. Tastes a little bit like coriander. It's got kind of a lemony flavor to it and spiced, a little bit piney. I think this would be a really great one to have at the end of a meal, kind of palate cleansing. Toasted marshmallow. Ooh, that has a nice little ecru color to it. Let's give that a taste. Wow. That one tastes the most artificial of all the ones I've tasted so far. It does taste of marshmallow, certainly. A little bit of that caramelized vanilla burnt sugar flavor to it. Kind of like breakfast sugary cereals in that sense. You're like, yes, it's very familiar and sweet and delicious in its artificial ways. All right, let's try this one next. Tarragon pink peppercorn. Wowzers. Tarragon, of course, is an herb used a lot in French cookery. Pink peppercorn is a spice. I wonder what color this one will be. Pink or green? Let's see. Oh, it's both. If you look carefully, you can see little flecks of pink in there. Look at that. Ooh, I can smell the pepper in there. Wow. Whoa. So you definitely taste the pepper and the tarragon, and then it finishes off sweet. So that's what's really interesting to me. You taste the spice and the herb first, and then the sweetness kind of comes after. That's an odd one. It reminds me a little bit of chai tea, which I know is redundant because chai means tea, but I always call it chai tea. It's spicy, and then it has a little bit of a spice, heat, peppery finish as well to it. Very curious. Let's taste this one. And this is lemon basil sorbet. Oh, look at that color. Gorgeous. That must be from the basil. Ooh, see, the sorbets have a much icier consistency. Let's give that a go. Wow. Again, the lemon is so bright and tangy and citrusy, and the basil's in there, but it's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, which I appreciate, because basil to me has a bit of an anise flavor, which I enjoy, but I'm not a huge anise fan, so I don't want too much of it. Very nicely balanced. It comes off very refreshing and clean and palate cleansing. Really good, actually, after having some of those dairied ones. Let's try this one. This is chocolate Kahlua. This sounds like a more traditional combination, chocolate and Kahlua. Chocolate, of course, is chocolate. Kahlua is a coffee-flavored liqueur. Excuse me while I indulge. Delicious. That scrumptious. A really rich, great chocolatey flavor, not overly sweet, and just a little kiss of Kahlua, actually. I don't taste too much of the Kahlua, which is a coffee flavored liqueur, just enough to make this taste even more chocolatey. I need to put this away. All right, next we have nutmeg. Did you know that actually the outside of the nutmeg, there's a little membrane on there, and that's actually mace? All right. And then a very strong nutmeggy flavor, which reminds me of the holidays. That and cinnamon and ginger are just signature for me when it comes to gingerbread. And that's what this reminds me of. Reminds me of fall and winter. Next we have this one, and this is oatmeal. Oh, look, this actually has little bits in it, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised because oatmeal does have little bits, but let's give that a go. See if this one tastes like breakfast at all. Here we go. Yes, it does. Whoa. In terms of texture, there's a little bit of toothiness in there. The oatmeal has been ground up and is included in there, and it has a very clear oatmeal-y flavor, and it kind of reminds me of soap. One of my favorite soaps I used to use had oatmeal in it, and that's what it reminds me of. It doesn't taste like soap, it tastes like oatmeal, but in terms of my Rolodex of memories, that's what it's reminding me of, is that oatmeal soap. It tastes like oatmeal. That's a little bit sweet. It does taste like breakfast, but I don't really necessarily want that in my dessert. Although I do love oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Maybe if this had some chocolate chips in it, I would have a better association with that. But yeah, this just tastes like frozen breakfast. All right, let's try blood orange sorbet. Yes! Blood orange, of course, is an orange that has a beautiful red color to it. That's why it's called blood orange. And let's give that a taste. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's give that a go. Oh my. Again, this is a sorbet, so it has a little icier texture, but again, the crystals are quite small. And this has a lovely flavor. Orange and bright, but it tastes like fresh squeezed orange juice, not the pasteurized stuff. So it's very clear and zingy and bright, but not as tangy, of course, as the lemon ones, but equally intense in terms of citrus flavor. Next, we have Peppermint Stick. Yes! As many of you know, mint chocolate chip is my favorite flavor of ice cream, so I think I'm going to like this one. Peppermint Stick. Oh, look how cheery that is. So this is a white base with tons of little bits of peppermint stick in there. That's just delightful. Look at that. Encrusted. I love that. That's so cheery. And the peppermint bits are not melted. Some peppermint stick flavors I've had, the candy is just totally melted, and it's disappointing because you can't see it, but this is very clear. You can see the bright red and little chips of mint in there. Oh, yes. Love that one. I love that one. Super minty, and I love the textures that are going on in there. You get the smooth ice cream, and then you get the delightful crunch of the peppermint bits. Imagine taking a crushed candy cane and adding it on top of ice cream. The ice cream base, while it is white, and you might think it's vanilla, it doesn't taste of vanilla at all. The only flavors that I really taste here are peppermint. It's all about the peppermint. And the peppermint stick in there, it has a wonderful texture in it. It still has that candy crunch texture to it, and it contrasts really nicely with the creamy, smooth ice cream. Green grape sorbet. Never had that before. I gotta clean my palate after having all that peppermint. Oops, come back here. Very interesting contrast after having that peppermint stick. The peppermint stick was so aggressively, wonderfully pepperminty, and this one is much more subtle. And it tastes like a fresh green grape. Not surprisingly, because there's probably fresh green grapes in here. Have you ever frozen grapes before? I love to do that in the summertime. That's what this tastes like, but in sorbet form. Let us continue with the haul of ice cream. Next we have this, and this is Guinness. Guinness, of course, is the famous Irish beer. Not surprising, has a nice brown color to it. All right, it smells a bit yeasty. Yep, it smells like beer. Here we go. I actually like that a lot more than I thought. It has coffee flavors and caramel flavors in there, which exists in the Guinness as well, but it actually goes really well in a dessert. It does have a beer yeasty flavor at the end of it, but it doesn't kind of stick around. It passes quickly, which is nice because I'm eating ice cream and I don't want to have aftertaste of beer. Next, let's try this one. This is Tangerine Sorbet. I know already I'm gonna love this one. Oh, beautiful sunny color again. Oh, that's so great. It's frozen happiness. It's just joyous, delightful, bright, citrusy. Not nearly as tart as either the blood orange or the lemon. It's just full of citrus flavor. Next I have this. I've never heard of this before, and it's called Lulo. According to Wikipedia, Solanum quitoense, and it's a fruit native of Colombia. Subtropical perennial plant. Looks a bit like a tomato. It's from the nightshade family, that's why, which is tomatoes and potatoes, right? And it means from Quito. Wow. It's very sour and tangy and citrusy. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. I guess maybe because I just read that it was in the nightshade family, I was expecting tomato. A little bit like passion fruit in the amount of acidity in there, but it doesn't have that really exotic tropical fruit flavor to it. It's more familiar. It tastes a little bit more like a citrus. Shiso! So shiso is an herb that's used a lot in Japanese cookery. There are two different versions. There's a purple shiso and then there's a green shiso. Sometimes you'll see things wrapped in it or it's shredded on top of things. It's really, really lovely. Very, very fragrant. It has nice little flecks in here. Let's give this a taste. Ooh, yeah, that's actually a lot subtler than I thought it would be. Shiso reminds me a little bit of basil. It's very strong in flavor, a little bit anisey and a little bit soapy. This is much subtler. I was expecting it to be over the top, aggressively strong, but it's not. Very, very subtle. Poppy. That's an unusual flavor. I always associate that with bagels. Little flecks of poppy in there. Let's see if I can taste the poppy. The ice cream base is rich and smooth, and to me it tastes vanilla. And in the poppy, I don't really taste the poppy seeds, but I feel them. They have a nice little crunch. Poppies! So we have brown sugar. Oh, this one's getting on the lid. This is the consistency it's supposed to be at. All right, come to mama. Oh, this one's very sweet compared to the others, and it's full of brown sugar flavor, which comes on as you eat it. It's kind of amazing. In the beginning, you're like, okay, and then it's like intensely molasses and sweet and caramelly and familiar. That very much captures the essence of brown sugar to me, but a little bit too sweet for me. Next, let's have this one, and this is Braeburn Apple Sorbet. Cute little peachy color to it. Little tiny flecks of what I think is probably apple peel. Tastes like apple cider. Fresh pressed apple cider in a sorbet form. Oh, and you get little bites of the peel in there as well. So you get a little bit of texture. Very nice. Let's try this lucuma. I have no idea what lucuma is. I've never had lucuma before. Puteria lucuma is a species of tree in the family Sapotaceae. Oh, so maybe it's related to sapote. And it is native to the Andean valleys and grown in Peru, Ecuador, and Chile. Ooh, look at that color. Gorgeous. Yellow, almost orange color. Let's give that a taste. And that has a very interesting texture, very different than any of the other ice creams or sorbets that I've had so far. It's almost got kind of a chalky, starchy texture to it, and very sweet. A little bit sweet potatoey, yummy. I like it. Ooh, let's try this one. This is a more traditional flavor, dark chocolate bourbon pecan. Oh yeah, you can already see the bits of pecan in there. I love that you can visually see the pecans. And that looks like a whole lot of dark chocolate richness. All right, spiked with bourbon. That's delicious. That's like a candy bar. I love that the pecans go in there last. They're very pronounced. They're kind of separate from the ice cream, so you get to really enjoy the pecan flavor. The chocolate ice cream is delicious. There's just a hint of bourbon in there just to give it a little bit of flavor. It doesn't taste boozy or alcoholic at all. Just a lovely combination of nuts and chocolate. Yum. Not overly sweet. Love that. Perfect balance of sweetness. Yeah, better put that one away. Dark chocolate bourbon pecan. Yep. Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm gonna eat lunch today. Next I have, this is Cherimoya. Cherimoya is another tropical fruit. I believe it's related to the sugar apple or the custard apple. This is a gelato. This one, similar to the lucuma, has a slightly starchy texture to it. Completely different flavor. Tastes like cantaloupe meets pear a little bit. It's delicious. Milk chocolate malt. Now that is a classic flavor combination right there. There it is. Oh, that looks luscious. That has a luscious whipped texture to it, and the flavor reminds me of baseball games. My dad used to take my brother and I to baseball games, and we would get the Carnation malted malts, eat those with a wooden spoon, and that flavor is in there. There's that malted flavor in combination with chocolate. Absolutely delicious. Classic, just classic. Next I have brown butter. Now brown butter is just regular butter that has been heated and toasted till it turns brown. There we go. Let's give that one a go. Oh my, that is lovely. That tastes a lot like the caramel. You can taste the toasted butter in there. It is full of creamy toasted butter. Delicious. I suspect this is a very underrated flavor. absolutely delicious. And the last flavor I have is this one, and this is sage. Sage, of course, is an herb used a lot around Thanksgiving. It's paired often with poultry. Ooh, look at that color. I wasn't expecting it to be that vivid. Here we go. Not bad. It tastes like sage. What does sage taste like? It tastes slightly resinous too, and piney, and kind of perfumed. A little bit like lavender, but not as floral. Not as resinous as, say, something like rosemary, but a lot subtler than I thought it was going to be. It still remains rich and smooth and sweet, but just touched with a little bit of sage. Yeah, not bad. All right, so that was 32 flavors of gelato and sorbet, and my gut is busted in such a delightful way. John, thank you so much for sending this to me. Be sure to check out the link down below to El Laboratorio de Gelato's place. They do amazing, amazing work, as you just saw. And Evan, thank you so much for continuing to watching my videos. I super appreciate it, and I'm glad I can bring a little bit of gluttony to you. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media so you know what videos are coming up next, and I shall see you in my next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Greetings, my lovelies. Hello, it's Emmy. I am a automaton, and all I do is eat.